What's up everybody, my name is Cole Hatter and welcome. We are so excited to shoot this video for you guys to bring this training module to you. Real estate investing is one of the most coveted industries in the world. People who do it full-time love it. People who aren't doing it want to. As a full-time real estate investor, this happens everywhere I go. Whenever I'm stuck next to a stranger, like maybe on an airplane where I have to be next to someone I don't know, of course there's the small chat of being polite. Hey, what do you do? And as soon as I respond with, oh, I'm a real estate investor, I know I need to set aside at least another 20 to 30 minutes to answer their questions because they're going to say, really? Wow, I've always wanted to invest in real estate. And then they'll go on to ask 20 or 30 minutes of questions. And then I always follow up with one question myself. Well, Bob, sounds like you're really interested in this. Let me ask you, why haven't you gotten started? And of everyone I've talked to in the 11 years I've done this, and by the way, I've been on stage teaching real estate investing for over 3,000 hours to over 100,000 people. So this is definitely something I'm passionate about doing. And there are really three main questions people have. Thousands of questions, but you can all boil them down to number one, why I don't do real estate, Cole, because I have no idea how to find a deal. Number two, if I knew how to find a deal, I don't have the money personally or know where to get the money to fund it. And then number three, let's say I had money and knew where to find deals. I don't know how to effectively grow or manage a portfolio. And so that's what we're going to cover in this course, is showing you number one, how to fund deals or find deals. And here's the good news. It's not easy. You know what they say, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But the good news is it's not complicated. The best way I relate real estate investing is to like algebra. Is algebra easy? No way. But once you take the time to learn the formulas, you slowly but surely, it's just a matter of following the process. So I don't think there's anybody out there that if you give them a big algebra equation, half thinking about it while watching a football game just knocks out these huge long equations. They're gonna have to focus their 100% attention on it. And some of those equations take 20, 30 minutes to work out. But when you know the formulas, when you know the systems, it's no longer complicated. It's not easy, it's no longer complicated. And real estate is the exact same way. I will never ever tell you it's easy. But the good news is, it's not complicated. And if you just take the time, like in math, to learn the formulas, or what I like to call the systems, you follow the process. And the good news about math, 2 plus 2 always equals 4. The good thing about the systems and formulas we talk about in real estate investing is if you follow the system, the result is profits. Now, let's be clear, people aren't perfect. Will you and I always make mistakes? Absolutely yes. But the good thing about a system is perfect. And so if you follow a system and don't make as much money as you wanted to, you can go back through all the steps and see where you made a mistake. So I always tell people who want to invest in real estate and don't, they come up to me and they say, Cole, what's the number one place to get started? You know what I tell them? Right here, what you guys are doing right now, learning. Let's pretend I'm a doctor and I have a thriving medical practice and I'm on stage somewhere talking about how to start your own medical group. The question you're going to have is, well, Cole, how do I have my own medical practice? Do you know what my first response would be? Go to medical school. Don't worry about a medical practice until you are a doctor. If I'm on stage talking about my dental practice and you say, man, Cole, I would love to have a thriving dental practice with a bunch of clients coming in cleaning their teeth. How do I get started? You know what I would say? Go to dental school. And so the exact same thing. People come up to me and they see my lifestyle, they see my cars, my vacations, and how my family and I have been financially blessed to be able to live the life we do. And they say, Cole, how do I do all that? And do you know what I say? Start with an education. Now, luckily for doctors, there's medical school. And for any of those, medical type practices, being a dentist, there's dental school. For real estate investing, it's kind of the University of Hard Knocks. But it doesn't have to be anymore. You can learn from people who are already where you want to be. That's what I've done. I have some incredible mentors that are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And I itched my chin and I said, you know what? If I found this guy who's making hundreds of millions of dollars a year and I copy him and do exactly what he's doing, I might not have similar results. But if he's making hundreds of millions of dollars a year and I copy what he's doing, I might be able to make a few million for myself. And you know what? A few $1,000,000 in real estate investing goes a long way. So what we're going to talk about is how to find deals, because not every house is a winner. There are millions, literally millions of homes in America alone. Not to mention Canada and the rest of the world. There's the opportunity for international investing as well, which we'll talk about in a subsequent program. But for now, we're going to focus right here in the US on how I've built a thriving real estate portfolio, but it starts with knowing how to find deals. So we're going to talk about that. There's probably 10 different very effective ways. Some of them cost money, but you know what? Most of them don't. Because the question a lot of starters say is, well, Cole, if I don't have money, what difference does it make if I know how to find deals? I can't pay for marketing. I can't send mailers out. You know what? Those are two very effective ways to market for deals, but there are some that take no money at all. The second thing we're going to talk about is, now that your phone is ringing and now that leads are coming in, is how to fund deals. Now this is important. People will talk to me about a certain amount of money they have. They'll say, hey Cole, I've got $100,000, which is good for them, right? Unfortunately, statistically in our country, in America here where I live, most people are paycheck to paycheck. So when someone comes up to me and says, hey Cole, I've got $100,000, I want to start a real estate business. Hey Cole, I've got $500,000. I want to start a real estate investment business. I say it's not enough money. And here's why. Let's just say that you found a home that was out of this world perfect, and you had that $500,000, but this deal is going to require $1 million bucks. Here in Hollywood, where I'm recording this, you can buy maybe that little shack right there for $1 million, right? Let's just say you go to middle America, where houses, very quality homes, are $150,000, $200,000. After you've bought your 6th or 7th property, you're what we call equity rich, cash poor. And being equity rich, cash poor is better than just being straight up poor. But then let's just say you got your $1 million bucks. Let's just say you have $1 million. And you've gone out there and you've bought 10 homes at $100,000 each in northern Texas and in Memphis and the parts of, the middle of our country where you can get a quality home for around 100 grand. And then the deal of the century lands in your lap. It is literally the deal that is going to put you on a whole new platform. Yet guess what you have to say? Sorry, I'm fully invested. I have no money to do this deal, so I'm out. And what I was taught from my mentor is it's way more important to know how to find money than it is to know how to save it. A lot of people are out there saving money. Let me ask you this. Do you think Warren Buffett became a billionaire by saving or investing? And so more importantly than knowing how to save money or hoard your money, and I know you started when you were 12 years old as a babysitter, and then you're a waiter in high school and college, and then now that you're working that corporate job, you're setting aside as much as you can, you're contributing to your 401k, you maybe even have a CD, I get it. But the reality is, knowing how to save money is common sense. Knowing how to raise money is way more important of a skill set to have, because now you never, ever have to say no to a deal. So we're going to talk about how to fund deals. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to grow a portfolio. Let's talk about how to grow a portfolio, how to grow wealth, and then how to manage it. Because here's the catch with real estate. It's not like stock where you just buy it, cross your fingers, and hope that it all works out. It's not like buying a brick of gold that you put in your safe, your security deposit box, cross your fingers, and hope that it all works out. Real estate has people living in it, whether it's commercial and it's like a Subway or an H&R Block running their business out of your property, or whether it's a family living in your home, there are people. Now, why I personally prefer real estate over something like stocks or a commodity like gold is because I have more control. Now, let me be clear. I own some stock. Yes, I do have gold, but the reality is I have to sit and project and wait that the market does well. What's really great about real estate is I can buy an undervalued home, maybe because it has some damage, like some mold or a bad roof or something like that. I can come in and personally add value to that house. If I buy Tesla, I just got to cross my fingers and hope Elon Musk hits it out of the park. If I buy gold, I got to hope that something happens to the dollar or global currency like Brexit over in Britain and drives gold prices up. I'd have to hope, cross my fingers, and wait. What's beautiful about real estate investing is just here over my shoulder, there's a whole city of homes. And no matter where you're watching this from, you live in a city of homes where many of them need some repairs. So we can come in, buy them ugly, beat up, put some work into them to personally make the value go up and not just cross our fingers and hope that it does. And then obviously whether we want to hang on to it as a passive income, a passive income property, or turn around and flip it, 100% our call. So we're going to talk about how to grow a portfolio. And what does that look like? Is it a mix? Are you going to buy and sell and buy and hold? Or are you going to prefer one or the other? It's important to know your strategy. And then we are going to have a bonus section as well for tax and asset preparation. It is important to be prepared in this business. The reality is you own an asset called a house, but that asset can very quickly become a liability. What if your tenant has a dog that runs out and bites the neighbor kid, and your tenant doesn't have the finances to handle a lawsuit? So you know what that neighbor may want to do? Is come after you and say, well, you know what? You own this house that your tenant had a dog in. You didn't screen your tenant well enough. You didn't check for this dog, so it's your fault your tenant's dog bit my kid. Now that is a tragic, tragic, tragic example, but guess what? It happens every day in the world. So we don't want to live in fear. And you may have heard this before. I don't want to scare you. I want to prepare you. And what we who know how to do this business at a high level do is we prepare in advance for our different asset protection as far as what entity your homes are going to go in as opposed to in your own name. And then another thing about real estate is when you do this correctly, you're going to make a lot of money. So you're going to want to make sure that your tax preparation is done well. We're not talking tax evasion. We're not talking about tax fraud. That's illegal. We're talking about how to structure yourself accordingly so that you can benefit from as much tax savings as possible. So each of these subjects, we're going to go deep into each. We've got a ton of different ways of how to find deals, a ton of different ways how to fund deals, a ton of different ways of how to grow your portfolio and manage it. So I'm super excited to take you through that. Here we go.